The Japanese have been familiar with tea since ancient times. They even created the tea ceremony, an event that is more of a discipline than a social interaction. But authentic tea ceremonies are difficult even for the Japanese people. As a result, afternoon tea, which is simpler and more fashionable than tea ceremonies, has attracted more attention in recent years. However, although simpler than the tea ceremony, afternoon tea also has its own set of rules. Sometimes, however, the rules are not clear. So today we decided to invite the best lecturer ever to give us a talk on proper afternoon tea. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a grand welcome to Queen Victoria, ruler of the Great Seven Seas, sovereign of the British Empire.
Stop it. You are wrong.
I am sorry, Your Majesty. But I had heard that the Queen was a person who took ritual and formality seriously. Did you not like it?
What is the ritual and prestige of the current fuss? I'm not the Beatles. Apart from that, I certainly used to like rituals, but now it seems like a hassle. Maybe it's because I had been asleep for so long. The long sleep let me forgot even English. So, I use the translation software, but feel like mistakes are rather increasing. If I use strange English, it is because of the translation software.
Well, so is Your Majesty. I use the same software too. My poor English is also bad translation software. Anyway, do you remember the old days? In particular, we would like to ask Your Majesty about afternoon tea.
There was good tea. There were good tea treats. I don't remember the rest.
We don't want that. We want to know the correct afternoon tea rules and etiquette. In Japan, there is a social event called the tea ceremony, in which tea is the main ingredient. The way this is done is complex. For example, to drink tea, the guests turn the tea bowl slightly in a clockwise direction twice and drink in thirds. Once they have finished drinking, they return the tea bowl to its original position by turning it anti-clockwise twice. There is a parade of other manners.
Do all Japanese people remember that?
It was necessary for some selected people. Those who cannot remember are not allowed to join. So, it is like a test to join an upper class.
In some ways it is similar to afternoon tea. But if you make it too complicated, won't it spoil the social aspect?
If people go frequently, the established etiquette can be quite comforting, but if people go once a month or once a year, it is certainly not a very social occasion, as all people can do is keep up with the etiquette. Afternoon tea, which is much more casual than the tea ceremony, has recently become popular in Japan. However, some manners are uncertain. We Japanese are concerned that the rules are not clear.
Then ask Anna. She is the creator of afternoon tea.
In the 7th Duchess's age, 3 tier cake stands didn't exist, and scones weren't the star attraction. It was only after her death that afternoon tea came into its own. It is said that the detailed rules and etiquette of afternoon tea were laid down by Your Majesty.
I certainly made some decisions, I remember that. But not the details.
What about holding a teacup? In Japan, most tea etiquette books say to pinch the top of the handle with the thumb and forefinger. However, tea researcher Asako Stewart, who even has her own brand of tea, writes that she puts her fingers in the handle. This was confirmed by her interviewing several the nobility, British etiquette teachers and tea experts. How did Your Majesty hold the cup?
The finger was in, I remember. That would be more natural. Why was a handle added to the cup? If you just want to pick it up, you can use a tail instead of a handle. Goat tail is sufficient.
I also thought that perhaps some inappropriate mannerisms had been introduced to Japan, so I checked the UK website. Then, surprisingly, both the Queen's former butler, Grant Harold, and former royal staffer, Micah Meyer, said that royal etiquette is to delicately pinch the handle to hold the teacup. At least in the current royal family, fingers do not seem to be hanging on handles.
Look at this, they are my grandfather and grandmother.
Oh, King George III and Queen Sophia Charlotte.
Charlotte devotedly cared for the demented George, helped to found Kew Gardens, patronized Mozart and granted Wedgwood the title, Queen's Wear. What a wonderful woman, but yet what a malicious portrayal.
She is not portrayed as a very beautiful woman.
Only she chooses a cup with a handle, elegantly pinch the handle and emphasizes her thriftiness with no sugar. What a wonderful person I am. The artist of this painting taunts her as being self-indulgence.
In today's terms, it's like dissing the so-called high conscious type.
The style to pinch a handle has already become a target of the ridicule of the newspaper then as of 1792, so why repeat it again? It is a mistake to say that if one doesn't put their finger on it, it looks elegant.
We decide that one should insert their fingers into the handle and hold the cup firmly, is our official rule.
Look at this girl. She's elegant, she's graceful. Is her name Catherine? She can pinch the cup without looking offensive. Shall we make it a rule not to put fingers in the handles?
But she's got her finger in the handle.
Both are hard to discard. Let's assume it doesn't matter either way.
We need you to make a decision. It can't be helped. Let's put this one on hold. And the next question is, milk first or tea first?
The tea is the first to decide. The color of the tea determines the amount of milk.
We are pleased that you have decided to do this, but we would like to offer a counter-argument, just in case. Putting the milk in first protects the cup from sudden temperature changes. English soft-paste porcelain, the old bone china, is susceptible to crazing. Crazing not only compromises strength but also stains and is unsightly. I have a favorite willow pattern tea set from Boots that I have used for a long time, but it has become stained.
If you're afraid of crazing, why not use hard porcelain? Heron's Victoria is a good choice.
That's the service Your Majesty ordered at the First World's Fair.
Yes, the international exhibition Albert organized for the people and me.
But it is too expensive for us commoners to afford.
Then the tea can be poured when it is lukewarm.
Taste is compromised. Talking of taste, in 2003 the Royal Society of Chemistry stated that milk poured into the cup first mixes better because the proteins are less thermally denatured.
It is the association to which I have given a royal warrant. Ignoring him does not sit well with me.
Alright, let's say that this is also pending, so let's move on. Next on the agenda is whether jam first or clotted cream first should go on the scones. The main parties in this dispute are Devon and Cornwall, both producers of clotted cream, with Devon advocating clotted first and Cornwall advocating jam first.
It's hard for me to say, because it could turn into a fight between Devon and Cornwall.
Queen Elizabeth II followed the Cornwall style, although Her Majesty never said so herself.
To be fair, I guess I should take a Devon style.
Agree. As a Japanese, support the application of clotted cream first.
Any connection with Devon?
It is difficult to apply a thin layer of clotted cream when the jam is applied first. In Japan, clotted cream costs 4 times as much as in England. Cheese and butter are also expensive.
What do people eat? Potatoes.
Ramen, curry, sometimes sushi, tempura.
Curry is my favorite. Abdul gave me the recipe. The smell of turmeric and garam masala reminds me of his face.
Japanese curry is different from Indian curry, which actually came to Japan from India via the UK. So, I am sure Your Majesty will like it. Now, the final theme is whether to break the scones by hand or use a knife.
Oh, are you done with the jam and clotted cream?
Yes, clotted cream first.
Will the people of Cornwall complain?
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's support for Cornwall means that King Charles III would be the same. Even if Your Majesty supports Devon, it's 2-1, so the people of Cornwall won't complain.
So is that.
The scone is said to have taken its name from the scone, the patron stone of the Kingdom of Scotland. The use of a blade on the pastry associated with this sacred stone is undesirable, and in Scotland scones are broken by hand.
All seem to breathe freedom and peace, and to make one forget the world and its sad turmoils.
That's the description of Scotland Your Majesty left in your diary, isn't it?
The people of Scotland do not want to use knives. I don't want to do anything against their will.
We are now set. The scones are broken by hand.
Wait, possibly a complaint may appear from England and Wales.
Why not use the Queen's power to hold them down?
I am not Freddie Mercury. In the Japanese tea ceremony, is there any disagreement?
There are. But rather than claiming them and fighting over them, they teamed up with their friends to form schools. There are 3 main ones, but if even smaller schools are included, over 100.
That's one of the solutions.
Afternoon Tea Victorian School.
Spread the word in Japan.
So let's decide first. One should insert their finger into the handle and hold the cup firmly.
See you again.